I test, review, and unbox so many more fragrances than I actually wear. And that doesn't mean the ones that I don't wear are bad fragrances. It just means that there is a really big difference between wearing something once and then wanting to wear something again and again and again. So I want to show you the difference between what I actually wear and what I just review. I feel like reviewing a fragrance is just about trying to understand it, but actually wearing one, that takes it a whole step further, because at that point, it's about whether it fits into your day-to-day life. And I feel like that middle ground is where most people get stuck. I feel like the easiest way to explain this is just to show you. And keep in mind, this isn't every single fragrance I love, it's just what I've been wearing the most of right now. So these are the fragrances that have survived my rotation. Up first is Versace's Eros Flame. This was one of the first fragrances I ever bought, and the first, I would say, unique fragrance I ever purchased. To me, it's like this rose and orange heavy kind of creamy, citrusy fragrance that's sweet and fresh. So I feel like you can honestly rock it any time of the year. Right now in Australia, we're going into the peak of the summer, but my usage of this fragrance hasn't slowed down at all. If anything, I've been wearing it more, and that just shows how versatile it is. Going into 2026, this fragrance will probably keep going more and more under the radar, but I actually think right now is the best time to buy it. The price of this fragrance is so damn good for the value you're getting. Here in Australia, I've seen it as low as just around $100. In the US, probably as low as around $80. And I think the scent profile you're getting, alongside the really solid performance and versatility, this is a fantastic fragrance. I've just been wearing it so much. I never have to overthink wearing this fragrance, and I think that's why I wear it so much. Moving on to a fragrance that I never thought would enter my rotation, but now it's more than just enter my rotation. It is a staple and one that will probably never leave, at least for the near future. It is Chanel's Allure Homme Edition Blanche. I am the furthest thing from a Chanel fan. In fact, I'm probably closer to a Chanel hater. Everyone raves about Bleu de Chanel. I've personally just never understood the hype. I own the Parfum and the new Exclusive, and I never find myself reaching for either of these. But I'm so happy that I discovered this from Chanel, because I truly think it is their best fragrance, and it's so damn easy to wear. But it doesn't get boring. It's easy, but still kind of feels unique and different every single time I wear it. In fact, I'm gonna make it my scent of the day. There we go, 4 sprays. This takes elements of like a classic blue fresh fragrance, but then gives it a more unique spin. It has this creamy lemon, really bright bergamot off the top. To me, it's kind of like a creamy lemon meringue pie that stays masculine, that stays fresh, and doesn't go gourmand. It's kind of just has slight gourmand elements to it, which just makes it so fun to wear when it's hot outside. This just stays in my rotation because it's so damn easy to wear for the gym, going out, doing errands, for even going out to like the bar on a hot summer's day. This would still be unique enough to help you stand out from, the other guys rocking Dior Sauvage or God knows what people will be wearing in 2026, I don't know. This next fragrance kind of just shows what this entire video is about, because it's not expensive, it's not actually a dupe, but it's one that I choose over many other more expensive fragrances in my collection, and that is Versace Hawas Ice. Look at that dent, crazy. This fragrance just feels very me. I don't really know how else to explain it. It's sweet, it's fruity, it's fresh. It's the perfect balance of being quite fresh and clean, but then having like that plum, juicy fruitiness off the top. That just gives it that unique touch and makes it unique enough for me to be choosing this over many other modern designer blue fragrances. This is a fragrance I would replace pretty much immediately if it ever ran out. In fact, I have an empty bottle of Hawas upstairs. This is now my second bottle of Hawas Ice. It's just one of those ones where if it was taken from my collection, even though I do have a lot of bottles now, I would notice very damn quickly, because at least once a week, I find myself wearing it. I should say this up front, this next fragrance is very damn expensive. And if there was a dupe of it that was great that I could recommend, I would love to, but unfortunately one just doesn't exist at the moment. It is Agnello by Peur Noir. So Peur Noir is a niche fragrance brand from, I think, Switzerland that I discovered at a niche fragrance convention called Scent Explore about midway through last year. And honestly, I wasn't super impressed with a lot of their fragrances, but Agnello As soon as I smelt it, I had to leave with a bottle. It felt so familiar, but still different enough where I knew it would get a lot of genuine use out of me. If you enjoy something like the Creed Aventus DNA or even Suspiro Vibrato, you should at least try this. In my opinion, it's kind of like a more green, herbal, and rich version of Creed Aventus. It's very expensive. I wouldn't include it in this list if I didn't genuinely wear it a lot and think that it warrants the price tag for certain people watching. This one has earned its place. Up next has been a summer staple for me pretty much since the day I bought it, and it is Louis Vuitton's Pacific Chill. It's just such a unique, fresh, and fruity fragrance that you can just rock at any time. I mean, the fruitiness means even when it's cold outside, it's still gonna project. I just feel like it's Louis Vuitton at their best. It's the best Louis Vuitton, in my opinion. Finally, we have a fragrance that just is a signature for me now at this point. I didn't get it that long ago, but it had enough familiarity that I knew I would be wearing it a lot. And fast forward about 3 months since I bought it, and that has held true. It is Stronger With You Sandalwood. A lot of you guys watching me were introduced to me because of something like a Stronger With You Intensely, or even just any of the Stronger With Yous. You guys know I'm in love with them. But Stronger With You Sandalwood, dare I say, I've actually been wearing more than Intensely recently. I'm not saying it's a better fragrance. I'm not saying that in 6 months, I will still be wearing this more than Intensely. But right now, I've been loving it and wearing it so much. This one to me comes across more unisex. It obviously adds in that creamy sandalwood, which just isn't in Stronger With You Intensely. I think this is marketed as a Middle Eastern exclusive, but at least here in Australia, you can buy this pretty easily. And I think in the US, you can as well. And I'm honestly so glad because this deserves to be everywhere. It's just a more kind of upscale, niche smelling take on the Stronger With You DNA. It's less sweet. It kind of removes that toffee caramel aspect, which you think would kind of ruin the scent, but they've kind of filled out the gaps with just like this really nice woods and richness. It just comes across mature and classy. It's not quite as versatile and easy to wear, but for date nights, for just any kind of nights out activity, I've been loving this and just reaching for it so much. I've worn this fragrance enough now where I would confidently say if I had to cut my collection down, this would stay. Now onto the other side of things, there are a lot of fragrances I really enjoy reviewing and even recommending to you guys. But for one reason or another, I just don't find myself reaching for them. And that difference is very important. I'm gonna group these into categories, and the first category is gonna be fragrances that have a legendary scent profile, but I've personally just never connected with, and that is gonna be Liquid Brun by French Avenue and Lattafa Assad by, well, obviously Lattafa. So Liquid Brun is the most popular dupe fragrance on the entire planet right now, and it's actually a great recreation of Parfums de Malia Altair, so that orange blossom, cinnamon, warm spices, and vanilla. Personally though, I just never find myself actually wearing this, and also with the real Altair or any Altair inspired by fragrance, I just never find the time to wear it. I've been trying to work out why that is, and the only thing I can think of is that really prominent orange blossom note, which can give me a headache after wearing it for a long period of time, but it's a great scent. It gets a ton of compliments. I just never connected with it. Lattafa Assad fits into the same bucket with Sauvage Elixir, which I used to own, but actually ended up selling. I would say Lattafa Assad is easier for me to wear than the real Sauvage Elixir because that kind of licorice and lavender vibe is toned down, but this still has just too much of that barbershop traditional fragrance feel to it that I have really no desire to ever wear this myself. I really respect both of these fragrances and the DNAs that they're recreating. I just don't ever wear them. Next up is the category of modern designer releases that were very popular and are very mass appealing, but personally just don't fit in with my day-to-day life. Eros Energy by Versace, YSLY Myself, but not the Absolute version, and Le Male Elixir by Jean Paul Gaultier. All fit into the category of fragrances I will review, possibly even recommend, but just don't fit into my rotation. Eros Energy I really did despise when it was first released, but after getting to know it a bit, I realized that this isn't trying to do anything crazy. It's just this bright burst of fresh, juicy lemon zest, essentially. It kind of smells like a lemonade. It's effervescent, meaning kind of fizzy. It's bright. I will wear this occasionally to the gym, but it, to me, doesn't have enough kind of depth to want to wear outside of like a really simple gym setting, which is a shame, but I do see why some people love this so much. Now, YSLY myself is extremely popular, might even be the most popular designer fragrance of 2025. The only one though that I reach for somewhat consistently is the Absolute version, because I feel like it has more depth, it has that ginger, which I love. The Perfume and the EDP, I feel like are too floral heavy. If I smelt it on another guy, which I have before, I would give them a compliment. It smells great. Just objectively, it's mass appealing. I respect the scent profile. It's just not for me. And finally, there's La Mer Elixir, which is one I talk about a lot because it does get so many damn compliments and positive attention, especially from women. And I love the fragrance for that one purpose only, but it is so sweet. The honey note I find is slightly too overpowering for me. Again, I love how many compliments it gets. It's just not my scent. The final category is like the more artistic niche pick, which blew up, but I find it very hard to pull off. Not hard to pull off actually, this one. More just I have to be in a very particular mood for this type of scent, and that is SHL's God of Fire. This one kind of smells like a fizzy mango soda. It's like this just bright burst of mango. It really does wake you up. It's a fun, unique, quite artistic fragrance, I would say. The one issue with this is that I really have to be in the mood to want to smell like a whole bunch of mangoes. To me, it doesn't really smell like much else except mangoes, which is great if I'm in the mood to smell like a mango, but that just doesn't happen to be super, super often. If you're a sucker for eating mangoes, if you love the smell of mangoes, give this a try. Give one of the many dupes a try. I own a lot of the dupes. I love most of them. In fact, I love just smelling this one out of the cap or even just like spraying it in the air and smelling it because it is so fun and different, but actually wearing it on skin for a full day, that's kind of a different story and something I don't really end up doing much anymore with this fragrance. The bottom line is, the longer I've been into fragrances, the more that I've realized that there is such a big difference between just trying a fragrance and reviewing it or actually wearing one properly and then wanting to wear it day in and day out. Most people don't need more options. They need fewer decisions. That should be the 2026 fragrance catchline. I've also noticed that the fragrances that last in someone's collection aren't the ones that blow them away on the first sniff. Sometimes, but I've honestly found the ones that I wear time and time again are the fragrances that just quietly fit into my day-to-day life. They're not the most exciting or impressive, they just work for me. That is gonna wrap up this video on the fragrances I wear versus the ones I just reviewed. Let me know down in the comments right now what your most worn fragrance of all time is. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you want to watch more of my videos, you can check the 2 videos up out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. My dog.